APC, and let's bring our guest into our discussion, Dr. Majola. We've seen the APC manifesto launch just now. We've seen the UCDP manifesto launch. There are obviously similarities, but let's talk about the dynamics of coalitions, because I think many of these smaller parties, you know, their existence and their success depends on forming coalitions either at regional level or at national level with other smaller parties. So what are the advantages of coalitions for parties, for the smaller parties in South Africa?
Yes, just starting with APC, Themba Godi has really been struggling to make inroads to national voters. Since his exodus from PAC, he has been struggling really to crack it. In 2014, he only received just over 30,000 votes, you know, which made him
the solitary representative.
Yes, yeah, which have run about 0.17 or something percentage, you know. So you can see that although at a personal level, he has been doing great work in the parliament. You know that he has been driving the SCOPA, doing the
parliamentary committees, subcommittees,
absolutely. But at national level, he has been struggling. He has been more gaining sympathizers in his hometown in the northern province, Limpopo, Guyane, your Bushbuck Ridge, and others. Sure. Now, these other small parties, UCDP, it's very, because you can see that you've got ACDP, which is a Christian party.
Yes.
UCDP is a Christian party. A new party, ATM, also it's got a Christian ethos. So these parties really, if they were to merge, you know, at least they would pick up more voters
and seats in different levels.
Absolutely, national, parliament, and even provincial. But you can see that they want to go solo. Now let's come back to your question of coalitions.
Correct.
Indeed, coalitions do have advantages in terms of strengthening and galvanizing and ameliorating the constitutional democracy for our country. They do have. However, they do have disadvantages as well. That stems from conflict and tensions within the parties. For instance, here is a party and another one. They come from different traditions, so now there will be conflicting...
And they have different electoral bases.
Absolutely. There will be conflicting expectations from their own members. There will be conflicting policies, conflicting priorities, conflicting leadership styles. Conflicting values and traditions.
So there's a dilution then of each of their parties' policies as well, because they're now merging into other policies that have been written by other parties.
There will be a lot of compromises. That is why when it comes to service delivery, it's always hampered. Because now they need to find one another. This party wants this party wants this. If you look at the EFF and the DA, that is they're the extremes. But now they have to try and find one another on certain policies, common ground. It's not an easy thing. In the process, the service delivery is hampered and is delayed and hamstrung because they are still trying to deal with conflicting personalities and other stuff. So unfortunately, yes, the future of the South African politics is through coalitions, but they do have disadvantages, especially when it comes to service delivery.
And then the whole notion or the whole activity of coalitions, forming coalitions, is primarily drawn to oppose a larger opponent.
How they formed is that they were all fighting against ANC. You know, they're all let's bring ANC down. And then they all came together. Julius Malema at some point had a headache in terms of choosing between ANC and the DA. He even used the word, they're both devils, but we had to find a better devil than the other. so he opted for the DA. But remember that at that time in 2016, he was still fighting against, and he still had this personal vendetta against Zuma at the time. So we don't know what's going to happen now. Will he go towards Ramaphosa will be a coalition between EFF and the ANC. They did when they voted for the land expropriation issue, without compensation issue in the parliament.
Yes.
Will they go for that even in the future, or they'll still say no, ANC no, but let me go for other small
yes,
parties?
And you've just rightly pointed out that there are issue-based coalitions.
Yes.
They form a coalition based on a particular issue that they're going to vote on that particular day, or
that's
that
right.
particular.
And EFF has been at pains
yes.
in trying to accentuate that, to say we are not in alliance with the DA.
Yes.
It's just a policy, I mean, whenever it's necessary for us to vote for a certain issue,
yes.
issue-based what to call coalition, rather than
yes.
that the alliance will find, especially between ANC, SACP, and
yes.
the COSATU.
And just to round up, just one final question about the UCDP. I mean, we've just heard from that clip, from their leadership, they are planning to actually expand,
yes.
into a national footprint.
Yes.
How do you rate their chances?
I don't think they will do well. I think they will have to really fight for the regional or province, because we've got ACDP and then we've got ATM that is coming. ATM is a bit stronger than
yes.
the UCDP. I'm saying these Christian-based organizations, they do have a market.
Yes.
In the Christians,
yes.
But
amongst the Christian electorate, but then they're excluding
Christians
the
community.
Yes.
But it doesn't guarantee them that all Christians will vote for them.
Yes.
Because within the ANC, you still have Christians.
Yes.
In the DA, you've got Christians.
Across all parties, in
absolutely.
fact.
So those ones who think that will attract Christians because we are Christian, and then they've seen that ACDP actually failed and couldn't do it, in that they must just change the strategy, because Christians are spread across all parties.
Well, thank you very much indeed for bringing us your insight and unbundling some of the chances that the parties that laid out their manifestos for us today.
Yes.
And I'm sure we will have many more to come.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much indeed.